What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This one's a little bit different from what you guys are usually used to. I'm usually doing car meets or DIYs on the car, whatever the case may be, but this one is long overdue. I've had a few people ask me about how to order an M3, like what the process is like, and I actually never got into that on the channel, so I thought this would be a perfect time to go over that, especially with the 2025 LCI M3 and M4 that you can now order, obviously. So I'm gonna give you guys a walkthrough of everything that I did, my purchase experience, and also some tips for you guys, how to order the car, how to track the car, and yeah, some of the websites that I used along the process. Just for reference, I've had the car for 6 months now, actually. So I just got straight into it, modifying it a little bit, and also going out to car events and things like that. But I think videos like this are necessary just to help the community out. So let's get straight into my timeline for my purchase process, my experience, and then I'll show you guys a little walkthrough of how to do it. I'll share my screen in the video so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, what I'm using, what websites I'm going to. But overview of my purchase experience, I actually went on BMW USA. I spec'd the car out a few times. I built it out, a few different specs. Then I happened to just walk into a dealership and I told them what I was looking for, right? Initially, I was trying to look for something used, but my spec, the one I wanted a manual. They told me I would have to order it. So I built the spec with the salesperson at the dealership and just reviewed everything together. And I placed my deposit February 4th of 2023. I'm gonna just briefly go through the timeline. What happened was they didn't have an allocation, right? So I was just on a wait list. And as you guys know, in July, or if you didn't know, in July rolls over to the next year. So I was in the wait list for a 2023 spec, a mid-year 2023, and it rolled over to 2024. I believe I went back like June 15th. I had to reconfirm my order because some things went up in price. Obviously the base price went up. I think the carbon bucket seats went up as well. I don't recall. But I went back and I reconfirmed my order. Obviously you could do this through the phone with your sales guy. I just decided to go in and just show face and talk to him. So it's from February to June. That's already, what, 4 months waiting. And then on August 7th, I received a text saying, "Good morning, your production number is blank." So that was the best part about, well, one of the best parts about the purchase process is just getting that production number, because now you know it's real. Now the real waiting happens. When you get your production number, that means you have your allocation for your order and it's gonna go into production anytime. After I got my production number, what I did was I emailed the BMW Genius. I'll drop the email down here so you guys can see who you can email. You can also call them, I believe, but I decided to email just so I can have the trace of the conversations. I emailed them on August 28th just asking what is my build week. So the build week is when they start building your car, and then it usually takes about 5 to 7 days to complete the build, and then it goes into transit to a port, and then from the port it goes to your port. In my case, I'm in Florida, so my port was in Georgia. We'll get into that later. So when I emailed the BMW Genius, they told me my build week was week 43, which is October 23 to October 29th, right? So the waiting happens. Once we got to that week, I didn't receive any notification that my build is in progress or anything like that, so I reached out again. And then they told me it was delayed to week 49. So that's 6 weeks delayed. And no apparent reason, they just delayed it. I didn't get confirmation that if it was because it was a manual transmission or if it was because I got bucket seats or whatever that is. But basically it got delayed 6 weeks. So now I'm like on the edge of my seat, just waiting every single day. Just the anticipation of all this is what gets to you. But you just gotta remain, you know, patient, because as long as you have that that production number, you know your car is gonna be built. So I got the email October 25th of 2023. Mind you, the deposit was placed February 4th, 2023. On November 15th, I hop on the tracking, because you also get a tracking once you get your production number. You can put it into BMW USA and you can track your car. So on November 15th, I was randomly on the app, on the web app, and I saw the new status of scheduled for production. So what that means is that you have your allocation and they're getting ready to start the build on your car. I saw that on November 15th. On November 24th, which is what, 9 days later, production begins. So this is when they're gonna start working on your car, start building it. The exterior assembly started December 5th. So from November 24th to December 5th, that was the wait to actually start building the car. Just because production begins doesn't mean they start working on it right away. I'm assuming, I don't know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that they have like an assembly line and your car is just in that line, and whenever they get to it, they get to it. And obviously during this time there are holidays and things like that. So I don't know if that was a factor in delaying the process from production begins to the actual exterior body assembly beginning. Then on December 6th, it was ready in the paint booth. So this is the shell of the body getting painted. So this is back to back to back, right? Each day there was a new status. So on December 7th, it was entering the assembly line where they start putting your car together. And then the same day, December 7th, it was already in quality check. So if you're not looking at your tracking, things are happening very fast. December 8th, it was waiting for a carrier assignment, which is the carrier that's gonna take your car from the factory to the port. And then the same day, December 8th at 10:36 a.m., so 2 hours later, it was dispatched from factory. So now it's on the way to the port. From December 8th to December 13th, I didn't get any statuses. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? You know, like how long does it take the car to get to the port, right? So I don't know. Apparently this one, it took a week. December 8th, it was dispatched. And then December 13th, it got to the port. So I don't know if it's delayed a few days or not, but that's when the status updated on the website. So that's the word I'm gonna take. This exact status right here is one of the ones that really make you itch. You're just wondering like, what the heck's going on? Where's my car? Why isn't it, you know, on the way? Because it's already at the port. Just put the thing on the ship, get it over here, right? That's what goes through your head. But this is where things can either take a few days, a few weeks, a few months. I've heard of people waiting a couple months for their car to get from the port to in transit to the destination port. In my case, it was at the port December 13th. Again, there were holidays. I don't know if that has to do anything with it. I'm assuming it does. January 8th, almost a month after, it was in transit. It took about a month for the car to be in transit. What I used to track my car when it was in transit from the origin port to the destination port. So the origin, I think, is called Bimmerhaven or something like that. I'll put the name here because I'm for sure butchering it. And then my destination port was Brunswick, Georgia, right? Because that's the closest one to me. The website I used to figure out what ship my car was gonna be on was, I have no idea how to say this, honestly. It's like Wallenius Wilhelmsen. I don't know, but here it is. I'll put it in the description as well. Wallenius Wilhelmsen. So what I did on there was I saw when my car was at the port, and then I looked for ships that were leaving to the destination port, so to Brunswick. I would look for the schedule and then match that up to when I saw the status that said in transit. So Maybe there's an easier way to do it, but I just did a process of elimination. Obviously, if there's a car that's going to Maryland and I'm expecting it to go to Brunswick, I'm not gonna look for ships that are going to Maryland, right? I'm looking for ships that are going to Brunswick, and then I would look at which ones were leaving within the next, 2 weeks or something like that, to kind of keep an eye on which ones I think would have my car. You can also email the BMW Genius, kind of ask them like, hey, which ship am I on, once your car is already at the port. Or I think once your car is in transit, you can reach out to them and they'll tell you which ship you're on as well. The ship that I was on was called the Oregon Highway, and I used marine traffic to actually track my ship almost real time, right? There's a slight delay. Sometimes it goes on a blackout outage. I think I paid like 99 cents for 24 hours. I waited a few days for the car to be in transit, and then I paid for 24 hours. I would see where the ship was going, and then if it was like in the middle of the ocean, I would pay 99 cents again, maybe like 2 days later. And I think I had paid maybe 3 times until it got to Georgia. Once it got to Georgia, I didn't use any tracking, but I know in the forums, there's websites that you can use to track where your car is in the port of Brunswick or in the port of Maryland, wherever your car is gonna go. I just didn't use any at that point because I knew it was just a matter of days. They got to the port January 22nd, and then on January 30th, it was in transit to my dealership. So it took about another week for it to process at Brunswick, Georgia. From January 30th, it was transported to my dealership in 1 day. So that's pretty quick. Once the car is at the dealership, they take a few days to prep it, do their final checks. And then on February 2nd, so from January 31st to February 2nd, I went and picked up my car. That was honestly the best experience ever. If you're able to capture it on camera, so you could just play it back, and to me it's motivation, because I was able to do that with the grace of God and my hard work and everybody that's supportive around me. It's something that I've dreamt about for a very, very, very long time. Just to realize that dream and just be able to refer back to it, see it, experience it again and again. That's something I suggest you guys do, is just record a little bit, so you can remember if it's something you care about, right? If it's just another car, then it's just another car. And now I'm just gonna show you real quick on my screen how to go about the process of ordering the car. All right, so one of the first things I did, like I mentioned, I went to BMW USA, as you can see here. And what I did was build your own. And this is obviously the fun part. You could play around with different, with different configurations and things like that. Let's let it load. All right, maybe it's down right now. Okay, let's see, BMW M3, and build yours. Sometimes this goes down, sometimes, so hopefully right now it's not down. So it looks like the BMW configurator is down right now. So we'll give it a few minutes, maybe a few hours, and we'll get back into it. All right guys, we're back. Unfortunately last night, the website was down, the configurator was down, so I couldn't build the car. But that's kind of what happens sometimes randomly. I don't know why, maybe so many people are configuring cars on here and the website crashes. But let's just go ahead and pretend like we're placing an order on an M3, just configuring it, seeing the specs that they have available right now. And then what you guys do is you call local dealerships or dealerships around your area, or maybe as far as you're willing to drive, and see who has an allocation available for you. And then you go through the spec sheet that you build out here. All right, so here you see we're in BMWUSA.com. So the first thing you want to do is just go click build your own. Let's see if today it's up and running. So you're gonna click on BMW M. So obviously you got the M2, the M3, the M4, convertible. Oh, and they got the M5 now. Okay, awesome. The M8 and the SUVs and so on. All right, so let's get to the one we're interested in here. So let's say the M3 sedan. So here you have the M3 Comp X Drive starting at 85.3. Then you have the M3 Competition sedan. This one's the rear wheel drive starting at 80. And then you have the M3 sedan. So this one down here is the one that comes with the manual transmission. And it starts at 76,000. So it's good to see that from, I think 2024 was 76 as well. So that didn't get a price hike. So since I got manual, let's go ahead and build this one. I know a lot of you are probably gonna opt for the X Drive or maybe just the competition, just because it's competition, not, you know, whatever. But here you have the colors. You have white, Sao Paulo yellow, black, Portimao, Toronto, Isle of Man green. I don't see anything different here. Oh, aventurine red is 650 now. It used to be like 1500. Got Dravit, Tanzanite blue, beautiful color. Then you got the frozens, frozen white, frozen Portimao, and frozen gray. Those are great options as well, but let's just go and rebuild my car here. I'm gonna opt for Skyscraper, my favorite color. And then you have the wheels here. So I think they added this one, which is kind of like all silver. The 825 M. I think previously it was like a dark gray with black. Now they went with all silver. But these are obviously 1,300 bucks. And then the one that's not anything extra is 18 in the front, 19 in the rear. The rest are 19, 20 staggered. So I'm gonna go with the bi-color here, 826 M wheels. We're just gonna go ahead and build my car again. And then here you have the different extended leather. This is just basically the seats. So you can see as you switch, you can see how the car would look. I think there's some colors that the door panels come with the leather as well. So Fiona Red is one of them. You got Tartufo, Ivory, and then I think Foyer Blue comes on the door. And then here, full merino leather. This is under the dash, on the doors. And if you opt for the competition, you get it here. I don't know why, but the manual, this is basically the same material as if you didn't opt in for the full leather. But again, let's go ahead and, oh, that's interesting. It says mine is popular. Okay, we'll go with that. These are obviously the comfort seats. We're gonna switch them out later. And then let's go here. You have the 3 different options for the trim. You have aluminum. Then you have rhombical, I think. I don't know what that is. And then carbon fiber. So we're gonna opt for this. It looks like when I reviewed the M4 LCI, they removed some of the ambient lighting that was on top of the glove compartment and around this trim. Now it's just dead center. So that's very interesting, but there's more carbon in that case. All right, but let's opt for the carbon fiber. You also get it on the steering wheel here. You get it here, and then I believe that's it. Yeah, you got it here, and down here, and on the steering wheel. Nothing on the doors, it doesn't look like. Let's see, we can check it out actually. Let's see if it loads real quick. I don't want to have it crash. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any carbon anywhere else. Obviously, these are the comfort seats, so the carbon fiber trim is not the buckets. So let's go next. Here's where you pick your options. And something I didn't know is that I could click, this doesn't look like a button to me. This looks like a title, right? A title for the section. But you could go ahead and click on here and you get a full description of what the package is. And that's something that I found out a little bit too late because I didn't get the parking assistant package because I thought it was the, I forget what the other package is, but I thought it had that module in the grille. I'll post a picture on here, and I don't like how it throws the symmetry off of the car, so I didn't opt for it because I thought it was this package. But knowing, I mean, it's 700 bucks, I thought honestly it was that sensor in there, so I didn't get it. But this is a good package. You can see here what it includes, and basically you got a camera. It's like a 360 camera, and you can access it from your phone, things like that. So this is a great feature. You guys can read through that. I'm not gonna read it on here. They added this is new. It's a M Carbon package, so it includes the price of the wheels. You get an Alcantara steering wheel, you get the carbon fiber trim, M Drive Professional, you get the bucket seats, and you get the ceramic brakes, and you get the M Drivers package. So you could go to the Performance Center. I believe that's what that is, when you go ahead and get your car delivered. But I am not gonna opt for that because I am not getting carbon ceramic brakes. I think for that money you could get something else. You could get just ceramic brake pads. There's a couple competitors out there, a couple companies like iSweep, EBC, PSI, just to name a few. But essentially it's not worth $8,500 just to get rid of brake dust. And I mean, if you're gonna track the car a lot, then obviously I recommend the carbon ceramic brakes, but for everyday use, you know, it's not worth it for me. Then you have the executive package, and it includes heads-up display, the power tailgate, adaptive full LED lights. So I guess it turns kind of like when you turn your steering wheel, it turns as well, so you can see to the sides. And then you have heated steering wheel. I got this package mainly for power tailgate. I don't remember if mine had this, but I know mine had the power tailgate. That's something I wanted. I really don't care for heads-up display, but if you do get it, you could turn this off, so that's good to know. The heating steering wheel in Florida, I do not need that. I mean, maybe once, it doesn't even get that cold, honestly, so I probably would never use that. And then down here you have a couple more options, so let's go ahead and add that. Sorry. Down here you have shadow line lights. So what that is, it makes the housing of the light a little bit darker, so it looks more aggressive in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Moonroof. The car comes with carbon fiber roof. If you want a moonroof, go ahead and order it. It's $0, but the carbon just looks so much better in my opinion. The front ventilated seats only come with the comfort seats. So if you add the buckets, you cannot get the ventilated seats. You do get heated with the carbon buckets, so that's something to be aware of. I wish you could do ventilated seats in the carbon buckets, but you can't. So I'm just gonna skip that because I'd rather have the carbon buckets, honestly. And I'll do a whole video on the bucket seats. I don't want to take too much time here, but it looks like it's $4,500 again. I think 2022 and prior were $3,900, so it went up a little bit, or 38. Now it's 45, but the car literally changes. The interior changes with this. Then you have the Sensitech dashboard, but if you have full leather, this gets removed. So you really don't need that. Now they changed this. The controls here, mine are plastic, but now you have galvanic, I guess. So it's like this silver color here. So that's a nice little option. And you have these buttons down here as well. So you could add that if you want. Let's just go ahead and add it. It's $100. You have a driver recorder if you want it. You have the Alcantara steering wheel that I like. It's 500 bucks. I know there's competitors out there, aftermarket parts, selling steering wheels for like around $1,000. So then you have the M Carbon exterior package, and that is the mirrors, I believe, the rear spoiler, the diffuser, and the air ducts. the air intakes in the front of the bumper. It doesn't include a front lip, and it doesn't include the side skirts or anything like that. So it's diffuser, spoiler, mirrors, and the air ducts. For me, I didn't order that. I just got my own carbon because I was more interested in the grille and the front lip, and I haven't spent this yet on carbon, so that's good to know. This is for extended shadowline trim. It's basically the spoiler and the mirrors are black, and your exhaust tips are black. So if you want kind of like a all black look for that, you could get this. I got it for mine. But if you don't, you'll get the chrome tips, and you'll get the paint match spoiler and the paint match mirrors as well. M-Drive Professional, this is basically a package that lets you go into track mode, and I know it has a drift analyzer and things like that. I think you have a different cluster as well. You have different options on the cluster where it blacks out everything, I think. I wasn't interested in that. Here's the carbon ceramic brakes. And then you have I guess now you only have 2 options. Before you had blue, red, and black. So I don't know if, let's see if it comes with blue. Okay, so it comes automatically with blue, but I went ahead and got black because for me the blue was off this interior, so I just got black, and then I'll probably paint them later. And then you have the M driver package, where you get to go to the performance center and have, you know, your day. I think it's in South Carolina. So you could get the delivery of your vehicle there, and honestly, from what I've seen, it's an awesome experience. I kind of wish I did it, but maybe the next one. All right, so that's essentially it. Then you go here, and you kind of see what your car will look like. So you can take, you can print this overview, and you could take it to the dealer that has the allocation. You sit down with a sales guy, kind of go over this, and basically, for me, I had to put down a deposit that went towards the balance, and then when the car got delivered, I would go ahead and either put more down if I wanted to, and then that's when they actually run your credit and go through the interest rate and things like that. You don't do that up front. When you place the order, you do that once the car is delivered. Before I forget, for the paint, you could actually do individual paint as well, which I think your salesperson could help you out. But basically, they have an array of colors that you can order. They can range anywhere from $4,000, I think, to like $10,000 if it's like paint to sample. Make sure if you want an individual color to go ahead and ask your sales guy to help you out in choosing a color, seeing what options are available. And if you have a random color that you like and want to see on your car, you could also send it, request it to BMW, see if they approve it, and they could paint your car in that color. So I'll also drop a website here so that you guys can see what options are available through the BMW USA website, but there's also a lot more colors that you can choose from. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot different than what I usually do, but I try to give you guys as much information as I can. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments. I'm glad to do another video explaining anything that you guys need. I'll explain the bucket seats as well, obviously for the heavier guys and things like that, because there's a lot of controversy about the comfort of the seats and people are afraid if they fit or not. So yeah, we'll get into that. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'm an open book, so I'll help you guys out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.